Hey, it's Don, the Auction Professor here. Today we're going to talk about Amazon and what's going on. As of right now, there are many investigations going into theft products and things like that being sold illegally on Amazon. If you've paid any attention in the last few weeks, there has been a huge investigation and many reports on a $10 million ring of operators and businesses that were selling stolen goods through Amazon. Some of the people involved were actually Amazon drivers that were supposed to be picking up these items and shipping them for Amazon to facilities. They were actually taking them and selling them at pawn shops. This isn't an isolated incident. This is the second report of this type of activity that I have seen. Amazon this year also came out just a few months ago and stated that they have a big problem with counterfeit goods. Announced it, said it's a problem. And if you're paying attention at all, Facebook just had to pay out $5 billion for not doing the right thing. There's many other investigations going on, including Amazon for monopoly. There's a lot of things going on that will affect people that sell on FBA, third-party sellers, basically, which is what I am and what most everybody out here is who is watching this. I guarantee you at this point there's going to be some major investigations through the House and Senate here in this country just because this keeps happening. This is, again, the second big investigation into stolen products being sold on Amazon through rings, not just one individual or two individuals. Many, many people are involved in this across the country. Amazon has fessed up and said it's going on also. So let's hop over and look at some of these stories right now. Now here's the first article here. Amazon drivers part of a $10 million theft ring, FBI says. This is an ongoing investigation, just one of the many investigations. Now I've looked across the net. I keep up on this. I follow these all the time. There was another one a few months back. There was many other incidences just like this with counterfeit goods and other issues as well. And with Amazon, they are taking the brunt of the responsibility for these. They're getting sued more and more and more and more. And for those of you who remember when Amazon cracked down back before on gating and such forth on many items, you haven't seen nothing until this stuff hits the courts right now. I guarantee you there's going to be some major gating issues, major companies stepping forward, because once they find out and know how much of the product was illegally sold on Amazon, they're going to be stepping up. Amazon, I think, is the #1 retailer in this country, and they sell almost half of the goods right now. So that's a huge amount of business that they've got. So I guarantee you that's going to be some crackdowns on this with all of what's been going on with safety issues, counterfeiting, trying to challenge China as well. Let's just pop over to a few more of these here. Here's another one of the ads, Thrift Electro. This is the company, one of them. They own several stores. And again, this isn't the first grouping of these type of businesses that have been caught doing this. This goes back for a few years. On and on and on and on. There's many, many of these going on. It's made it to the House and Senate. I guarantee you this is not going to die with this case. The FBI is aggressively addressing this. This is one of the bigger ones, $10 million. And again, as you know, Facebook had to pay $5 billion for their neglect in safety and other issues. So as I've said before, the government is going after these industries, just like Bitcoin they were going to be going after. As they have stated already, you're going to see some more investigations into this. You're going to see them clamping down on Amazon. I'm not saying I want it. I'm not saying this is anything that I would want to happen. I understand it because of all the counterfeit goods. I am, though, a third-party seller, and this could affect me as well. So I'm not making light of this. You should honestly pay attention to this case, if none other cases, because this one has gotten major attention. It's been on every single newspaper, every single television station, every single news station has covered this. If you haven't paid attention, I would honestly suggest you reach out and address and look at this issue right now, because it is going to play a factor in what happens in the next year or so on Amazon. They have admitted here, as I said, they've admitted some of the other issues that are going on. They have a counterfeit problem. Now, this article is from this year as well, just a few months ago. Amazon came out and admitted that there's a ton of counterfeit products on their site. They've actually talked about doing more things to stop it, which obviously would be gating and banning and pulling and shutting down sellers left and right. That is going to happen in the near future with all of these cases pending right this very second. Now, if you read into this specific article, Amazon admits the obvious. You're going to see that Amazon is being sued left and right. They're admitting to this. They're acknowledging it. there's going to come a point where it's going to be more practical for Amazon to start shutting down a ton of third-party sellers like you and I for FBA, because they're being sued so much more often these days. And the lawsuits are going on and constant. Major companies are suing Amazon over stolen goods. Small companies, major companies, it's getting to them right now. They admit it in this article. They admit that the fact that some of this is going to get to a point where it's going to be more practical to lose the sales from third-party vendors as opposed to being sued every day in court for millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. I would honestly recommend you read this. There's a huge section in here from Amazon. This is from Amazon itself. This talks about many of the things that Amazon has admitted to. So again, the article is Amazon admits the obvious, they have a counterfeit problem. Look it up. Something you should read. This isn't the only site that has this exact content on it. You can read some in the Wall Street Journal as well, but this one's much easier to find for you by that title description. I would read it down here. eBay is stating similar aspects that are affecting their business. Lawsuits from trademark and infractions and things like that cost them a ton of money. I promise you it's just a matter of time. Once Congress comes in and enacts fines and legislation against Amazon for some of these infractions, it's going to be pushing Amazon over the edge. And I guarantee you you're going to see another wave of gating issues coming across Amazon. I would get in now before it's too late. It might be too late, who knows? But the point is that Amazon has issues right now that they have admitted to openly when it's been addressed. Some of this is already in front of Congress right now. Many of these investigations are current going on with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, right now as well, too, that entail billions of dollars worth of products in general. So it's not the only article. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. Just type in stolen goods on Amazon and you're going to see a wave of pages and pages and pages and pages of these reports, all investigation-wise, too. Here's just another one here. Prime and punishment, dirty dealing in the $175 billion Amazon marketplace. It goes into a lot of this as well. These are just some random articles that I pulled out. This one's from The Verge, fairly represented page. It goes into many aspects of things that people like us who sell on Amazon already have known and heard about, like punishment and things, and the legal Amazon system that shuts you down and such forth. So again, you haven't seen anything with gating going in until these start to hit legislation. It's going to happen. This is one of the biggest ones. It hasn't dropped. It's been everywhere across the news. It's on every article, every magazine. It's constant. This has been on major news for 4 days, even though it's happened prior to this. And just like them admitting the counterfeit issue, they've pledged to take care of the issue. They have pledged to address the issue. The latest charges with the Amazon employees is going to push this to a legislative aspect. You're going to see Congress stepping in. I can almost guarantee it. Amazon will have to address this sooner than later with this last case. $10 million may not sound like a lot when you're doing $175 billion, but this is just one single case. There's hundreds of these pending right now in federal courts from the way it looks right this very minute. This is just one case for $10 million. There's dozens and dozens of cases pending from what I read across the net. Some go back for several years who still haven't been settled in court or anywhere else. So as I've said, this is just one case for $10 million, and that's just a start. It may turn out to be way more than that. Amazon has hundreds of these types of cases that have come before them in the last few years. Many of them are still pending right now. There hasn't been a resolve for these. And as you can read in some of these articles, Amazon has said that they would fix the issue, including this one that just happened. This just happened. So I am sure they are working on it. I'm sure there's going to be some major gating issues. They're going to have to address the counterfeiting. They're going to have to address intellectual property as well as outright stolen property being sold hard good wise on the site. So I would pay attention. I would be a little worried about this, and I would follow this story. If you weren't following any other stories, this would be the one to follow if you are an Amazon seller, FBA, and a third party as well. This could also carry over to other sites such as Walmart or eBay. So pay attention. This one could be the big one that actually stops some of the activities, but it could stop some legit sellers as well. So be on the ball, pay attention, and I hope this helps you. Well, there you go. Hopefully that gave you some ideas and some thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.